Hello everyone. How are you? Welcome to Honest Conversations. So this is episode 13. I'm really excited to have you all connected. Looking forward to an incredible session. Waiting for everyone to join. I hope you guys are having a fantastic week or you had a good week. Hope you're excited for today's session. I am, personally. Really looking forward to it. So many things we're going to talk about today. Today's session is going to be a little bit different than the usual. I'm going to try something new with you, and I hope it's going to add a lot of value. That's what I'm hoping for. So we're just going to give it about 30 more seconds for a couple more people to log on, get connected to the system and the process. Hola. Hola, Linda. How are you, Habibi? Good? Good to see you. Hi, everyone. Hello. Nice to see you all. Okay. This is pretty cool. I'm really happy to have you all logged on for today. So let's bring the music down and tell you a little bit more about what we're going to be doing. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be talking about accelerating your personal growth. And I think that this is a very important and vital topic because how do we really grow and develop over time? How do we increase our potential? How do we get to a point where we are always really developing and improving the quality of our life in multiple areas? So it's going to be a little bit close to life coaching, but we're not doing life coaching. However, we are tackling how you grow in your life and what areas of your life you want to deal with. And considering that we are in times of a lot of change and a lot of uncertainty, a lot of things that are not very clear, I thought it would be quite interesting for us to have this discussion and talk about what are the methods, ways, possibilities that we could use to enhance and improve the quality of our life. And so to make this quite fun, I've done something a little bit different than we do generally. And that is I have and am using a new tool, which I've been using a lot in training. I'm going to share it here on my screen for everybody that is connected via Facebook, YouTube, or my Facebook page. So you can connect directly there. For those of you who are on Instagram, I'm going to share with you, I'm going to type right now the information that you need. So give me a quick second. Let me just plug that in. So go to www.menti.com using another device if you have one, or you can use your browser. But I think if you leave this, you'll get disconnected with me. So I'm sorry. I'm trying something out new, so we'll see where it goes. And what you use to connect is code 57625682. So we're going to try something really new. I'm going to try to integrate Menti, which is a training tool that I use a lot, on my live sessions to try to give you an opportunity to interact with me in a much faster and more effective way. You'll still be able to watch me live here. And at the same point in time, we'll be connected on Menti, and that will give you a possibility to add information, interact with me as I change questions and we move forward. Because today's session is about reflection, it's about growth, and I want you to have that opportunity. Now, once you log on to Menti, please click on the heart button, because the heart button will allow me to know that you're connected. So right now, I'm going to switch to the next slide. If you also want, what I can do is share with you the QR code. Give me a quick second. Let me try to do that for you. Hold on as I try to figure this out. Trying new things. We need to keep innovating. So that's a QR code that you can screenshot, and that will take you straight to Menti. Thanks everybody on Facebook for giving us a second. So you can screenshot that, or you can use the code www.menti.com and go to 57625682. +57625682. And then once you're here, you're going to add a heart, and that will let me know that you're connected. And in that case, you are good to go. Now, you don't necessarily have to do this. So if you don't have a second appliance, if you don't have a computer also, or let's say an iPad or something that helps you to do that, then you can just use a paper and pen and write down the question and the answers, because I'm going to be reading them out loud. And you can also type your answers directly on Instagram chat. However, to be very honest, I think it's pretty cool to see the integration and participation of Menti, because you're going to get so much more out of it. So try that out. Let's see if that works. I also want to let you know that I have joined Clubhouse from about a month ago, and I haven't really posted anything yet. I've been watching a little bit, trying to understand how it works and all these kinds of things. But I think I'm going to start a show soon, and the show is going to be in Arabic on Clubhouse, that basically talks about things related to social issues here in Lebanon and how we can develop ourselves and deal with the challenges that we face in Lebanon for those who live in Lebanon. So now that I have a couple of people logged on to menti.com, this is really, really cool. I'd just like to know, which city are you logged in from? Go ahead and share with me your comments and your thoughts. And I'm also going to take a look here at the chat. So I got a couple of responses. Michael, how are you, brother? Good to see you. Jihad, Amira, thank you all for joining. I hope you join Menti, and you'll be able to see the screen more effectively. And just go ahead and write in which city you are logged in from. So I've got someone from Doha. Hello, hello, hello. Babda. Keep those responses coming. Los Angeles. So we've got a couple of responses in Menti, and that's really, really cool. I'd like to invite more and more people to join Menti. You can see that in the chat if you scroll up, if you just joined. I see Beirut also is a response. So the more people join, the more interesting Menti is going to become for all of you, and you guys are going to have a lot of integration going on. Hi, Ran, good to see you too. So I see more people from Qatar. This is really, really exciting. I'm very happy to see a lot of responses and a lot of people engaged. Now, let's go straight to the topic and kind of dig into it. So on Menti, I'm asking a question right now, which is, how can you accelerate your personal growth? So Amira, if you don't mind, would you, welcome from Algeria. If you can join by going to menti.com, it's on the top of the screen. You can see it right here, www.menti.com, and then the code 57625682. If you guys need me to repeat this again, let me know. This is going to allow you to integrate with me in an effective way. Hello from Dallas. I hope you join Menti too, and that way we're going to have some really good responses and a lot of growth, God willing. Okay. As always, if you guys log on to my Instagram profile and you go to the link in my bio, you'll be able to join the call directly on StreamYard and come on live as a guest with me and ask me questions, and I'm more than happy to entertain those questions. So let's see what we see. So some people are saying that in order to accelerate your personal growth, you got to work hard, set goals, track your progress. So what else are we looking at? What other ways can you accelerate your growth? And it's important for me to know how you think so that I can be effective for you in the situation. So what are other ways that you can accelerate your personal growth? Let's see, we've got, it could be through reading some personal development books, for instance. You could be guided. I'm loving the responses. Mentimeter is starting to kick in. That's awesome. Mindset preparation, then set an action plan for implementation. Okay, work smart and hard, ask professional recommendations. Let me show Instagram. Let me show you guys what's going on here so that you have an idea of what's going on Menti. And so you can see the responses here. See, work hard, set goals, track your progress. It could be 3. There you go. So try to log into Menti. I think it's going to make it very, very interesting for you if you have a second platform. I know this is new for everybody, but I would really like you to get used to this because I can do so much more if you guys become interactive on Menti. So www.menti.com, And then the code is 57625682. You can screenshot this right now with my beautiful finger saying thumbs up and take it from there. All right. I hope this is working for you. Doing my best to make this as engaging, as interactive as possible. God bless you for taking the effort to make this happen. So, okay. So never stop educating yourself. Surround self-awareness. Surround yourself with people from the same interest. I see a lot of interesting responses on Menti in this case. And I'm kind of wondering, and I'd like to ask you all, what's the most effective way for personal self-growth? So what really takes us to the next level? What can we do to enhance our growth? And why should we grow? So let me just kind of share this with you really quickly. Everything you do in your life is a side effect or an outcome of where you are right now in your thinking, your understanding, your values, your beliefs, your state of mind, your energy level, your perception, how you see things, what filters you use to understand the world around you. So it's all very much driven by where you are right now. Every time you grow in a certain area of your life, you are actually upgrading yourself, okay? And so it's really important to do that. Now, you can grow through working hard. Sure. You can grow through setting goals and tracking your progress. Fantastic. You can grow through reading books and what we say, upgrading your mind, enhancing your information and expanding the way you think. These are all phenomenal and fantastic. You can grow by educating yourself. You can grow by listening to John's sessions. Thank you. You can grow also through self-awareness. So I'm going to expand this a little bit so you guys can see the responses. You can grow through mindset. Okay. But what starts all these things? Let's be really honest. Has there been a time in your life where you felt you wanted to work hard, but you just didn't? Has there been a time in your life where you wanted to read, but you just aren't reading? So we always say these things, but do we do them? Do we really spend the time and energy to do them? And what I'd like to do is I'd like to go much deeper than the recommendations that you're currently making. Because most of these recommendations, whether it's working hard, setting goals to track your progress, reading, work smart, ask powerful questions, okay, willpower, some of you are saying willpower, self-awareness. And the cool thing, by the way, on Menti is whatever you answer, I can't tell who answered, so you're completely safe. You can say anything as long as it's respectful. Okay, no swear words. This is a show that might have people who are under 18, so I want to keep this respectful if you don't mind. Okay, and in this case, you're going to find that these are all surface level behaviors. What about deep inset thoughts, ideas, and behaviors? So I want to invite you to go deeper. I want to invite you to think deeper, to understand yourself on a deeper level, and so that you change the core of your beliefs and your value system. So I'm going to start with some powerful questions. The first question I've prepared for you are, what is the benefit of self-reflection? So what does self-reflection give you? So when we talk about personal growth, the first thing that I believe is the strongest catalyst for personal growth is self-reflection. And what is self-reflection? Self-reflection يعني عم نطلع على حالنا وعم نقول أنا وين بدي أصير. So I'm thinking about myself and I'm saying, where am I right now and where do I want to be? And a lot of people get demotivated by self-reflection. They say, who has the time for this? If you don't self-reflect on a weekly basis, you are hurting yourself in a tremendous way. And that's why you'll notice that most of the times you grew the most when you were alone. So a lot of people go through lockdown, and in lockdown, they have to face themselves. They have to face their truth. And what happens is that they grow tremendously. So on Menti right now, I'm asking you guys, what are the benefits of self-reflection? What do you guys think? If you don't mind responding to that. So I'm looking forward to your answers. What do you think are the benefits of self-reflection? For those of you who don't have Menti and didn't access Menti, okay, feel free to write those responses, please, on the chat, whether it's on Facebook or on Instagram. Yes, of course, I'll reshare the code. So let me put that in again. Here we go. Just posted that right here. So Pascal, I just put the code for you again, so you can join again. And why is voting closed? Sorry, I just opened voting. Nope, whoops. Here we go. So you guys can respond now. And for those of you on Instagram, again, I'm going to write this for you again. You can go to www.menti.com, and the code is 5762 5682. So I'm trying this out new, and I really want to see if it's going to work. I know I'm complicating my life a lot, but my goal is to give you so much value. And if that means I have to complicate my life a little further, then that's okay by me, okay? What's important for me is to make sure that I'm giving you something that is really, really solid. So let's kind of take a look at this. So position knowledge. So benefits of self-reflection are, you know where your position is and you gain knowledge. And that's very true. You get to know about yourself, self-discovery. You get to understand who you are and what you're about and what limiting beliefs that you have and what values conflict with who you are. If you remember 2 sessions ago, I was talking to you guys about your self-image. And when we perceive ourselves, when we see ourselves, okay, we have a picture and we try to make a comparison between where we are and where we want to be. If where we want to be is much higher than where we are, then what's going to happen is we're going to feel like there's something deeply missing and we will feel demotivated. But as they get closer to each other, what we are right now equals what we dream and imagine to be, we feel content, okay? And that feeling is self-esteem. So when self-image matches, okay, current self-image manages future self-image, we feel very strong and we feel really good, which is self-esteem, a healthy self-esteem. We feel confident, we feel certain. So you guys are saying that the benefits of self-reflection are increasing your position, allowing you to understand yourself much better. And that's fantastic. I want to ask more questions. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some questions for you as we go. So stay on Menti. Give me a second. Don't worry if it tells you you're not in the system right now. It's because I'm actually adding questions for you as we go. So the next question I want to ask you is, for example, let's talk about the use of time. So if I write down, are you using your time wisely? Okay, so I'm going to add that as a question. I'm going to add another question for you right now, also on Menti. For those of you who are on Instagram, just type. It's no big deal. So I'm adding, that's another question here. I'm just adding a few questions that I believe are going to be very valuable for you. I really appreciate your patience as I write these for you guys, because I think they're going to really be beneficial. Just one more question. Almost done. Thanks, guys, for waiting. I really appreciate it. And then finally, let's put one more. I think these are some good questions to kind of reflect on that might add a lot of value for you. Okay, so here we go. Jumping to Menti again. All right. So the first question I want to ask you now on Menti is, are you using your time wisely? Okay. And the reason why I'm asking this is because I think it's so important for us to start with simple stuff. Let's get used to self-reflection. So the first thing I want to ask you is, are you guys using your time wisely? Is your time wisely spent in your life? If you think about your energy and your focus, and how you use your energy and focus, where you're spending it during the day, okay? Think of it as a currency, like money, and you're spending this currency, right? So are you using your time wisely? Take a moment to answer on Menti. And if you aren't, maybe write down and think about what you could do to use your time more wisely in the future. Today is really about digging deep. I want this to be an exercise session for you that you can actually take advantage of, not just knowledge and info and entertainment, but more about impact and growth. So join me in digging deep. So I see some responses. If the music's too loud, you let me know, because I'm learning about volume right now. So someone says somehow, another person says getting the habit of doing useful routines. So that's an action step. Someone else is saying, unfortunately, no, not using my time wisely. And time is the currency that you'll never get back, right? So what could you do to use your time more wisely? What decisions can you take today? What action steps can you take today to use your time more wisely, to grow, to develop yourself, and improve the results in your life? Trying, but I need additional hours. So you see, there's a lot of stress there on time. Is it true? So I'm going to ask you, whoever wrote this, is that true? Do you really need additional hours? Are there other ways that you can become more efficient with your use of time? And is everything that's using your time, so like time vampires, are these elements that are requesting your attention and time, are they really a good investment? So by spending time in these areas, are you getting something back? Is it really improving the quality of your life? To use my time wisely in the future, I could go through rituals, write down tasks to do on a daily basis. Great, that's phenomenal. You're reflecting. Would that work for you? Have you tried that before? And if so, how could you make sure that you would commit to this process, right? Someone else said, trying to find out how to plan my day, but I'm overwhelmed because there's too much to do. What could you do about that? If you're overwhelmed because there's too much to do, what could you do about that? Is everything that you need to do absolutely necessary? Are there things within the framework of the tasks that you need to do that you could give away to someone else or delegate or just ignore? And sometimes you'll find that it gets resolved on its own. If so, can someone else help you in the process? Or can you increase your skill sets? Can you learn something or develop yourself to become more efficient at the tasks that you're currently doing? So what I'm trying to do is share with you questions. And when you like these questions, just write them down. Fun and Learn with Mom. Remember your dream and objectives every day. How would you do that? In order to make sure that you're enjoying the process of remembering them, because Anjad, if you don't enjoy the process, then it's almost like another homework. Like you're creating a task to complete more tasks, and that's not going to work with your brain, because remember, your brain runs away from pain and goes towards pleasure. So it goes away from discomfort and moves towards comfort, whatever you perceive to be discomfort and comfort. So how can you manipulate and hack your own brain and your own neurology to get the best results? Okay. Kamil, Habibi Inta. Kamil is one of my best friends. So he's telling me, hi bro, I'm at work. I'm tuned in for a little. Keep up the good work. We'll talk soon. I love you, brother. Anytime. Someone said, it never worked for me. I couldn't commit, unfortunately, because I know that following certain habits and rituals is essential, but I hate routines. But see, this is the point. What I'm trying to communicate to you guys is, if you are programmed, so if you give me programmed responses that don't actually work with your biology, with your psychology, with your personality, you're not going to end up doing it. And guess what's going to be created in its place? Guilt. You're going to start to think, I'm not finishing these things. Ya Allah, I have to finish all these things and I'm not getting things done. And that's going to put some pressure on you, additional pressure that you don't need. So you don't solve pressure by creating more pressure. You solve pressure by eliminating pressure and breaking it down into pieces. Have you ever noticed how Fairy Liquid or Prill or whatever, these types of cleaning detergents work? What they do is they have emulsifiers. So these emulsifiers, these products, these agents go into the oil and they break the oil into little droplets so tiny that they kind of melt off the plates and the pans. And in the context of dealing with your life and the challenges of your life, you need emulsifiers, things that are going to break down all these tasks into smaller packets, okay? So you can deal with them in a much more intelligent way, and also just decide to not deal with some of them, right? So, Rina, you're saying try to make everything fun. Yeah, absolutely. You can definitely make things more fun to reward yourself and raise your dopamine levels. But let's be honest, it's not always easy to make things more fun. So I try to think about tasks and problems that we have in our life as balls, okay? Little balls like this. I know it's probably not the best example, but anyways. And I'm just trying to think about a container. Let's say we have a nice container, and then we have these balls dropped into this container. And the ones at the bottom cannot be seen anymore because on top of them are more tennis balls or whatever they are, ping pong balls or anything else. And so when you look down into the container, you don't see the ones at the bottom because there's so many more on top, right? So what you need to do is actually take these balls out of the container and decide where you want to put them and how you want to use them, okay? So take care of your balls. Now, here's what I want you to know. This is supposed to make you guys laugh a bit. So the most important thing really in understanding how to use your time is to have really powerful habits and a system that works for you. The next question I want to ask you in self-reflection is, are you taking anything for granted in your life? Think about that. Is there anything in your life that you're taking for granted that shouldn't really be taken for granted? And if so, what can you do about it? Let's be honest. Who here takes certain things in their life for granted? And just raise your hand. You know, thumbs up, heart, wave, whatever you want to do. Who here has spent time in their day taking things for granted and not realizing that these things, people, elements, whatever, things that you own, right? Items, your house, your property, car, your bed. How many people wish for a comfortable bed? And I'm not trying to say you just have to live in gratitude all the time. Ren, thank you for raising your hand and being honest. Again, on Menti, you guys can join on Menti and add more and more responses. So again, please go up in the chat and you'll see the code, menti.com, and you'll see the code. I've put it several times. So I hope that's working for you guys. So someone said, sometimes you take things for granted, and that's really, really important. Well, if that thing that you take for granted, it should not be taken for granted, what actions can you do? Maybe little things. So there are people in your life that you take for granted. What could you do about it? To kind of let them know that you appreciate them. Because by appreciating them, they're going to return that energy back to you and you're going to increase your quality of life. You're going to feel a lot better, right? So what little actions, little, like really tiny actions could you do? Little things. So easy that it takes literally 1 second of your time during the day. So it's not an overload. To let them know you appreciate them and you care about them. Sure. So someone's saying, yes, I can focus on gratitude. Sure. How? Let's go into the how. I want to break it down. I want you to leave with essential tools today. How do you get to gratitude? What kind of gratitude exercise would you like to do? Morning gratitude, evening gratitude, lunchtime gratitude? Would you like to use an app, turn it into a habit, connect it or anchor it to something? So maybe every time you drink your cup of coffee or tea, that time is spent just saying thank you for the things that you do have, or the people that are around you, or the opportunities that are available to you. I'd like to let you know that I was extremely tired today. Really, really tired. I've been very tired the last 2 days. My father went back into the hospital. My brother was in the hospital doing surgery. My mom just finished from a very strong sickness. And I was food poisoned last week. It's been a very challenging week for me. And I got to the session today, and I was just like, oh my God, I'm so tired. I really, really could use a break without using my energy, without talking and expressing myself. And, you know, commitment to quality, commitment to standards, valuing who you are and valuing the purpose of what you do is what gives you extra energy to get through those difficult times and kind of give it your all. And to be honest, today I wanted to spend more time with you reflecting on these ideas a bit, to change things up a little bit. You know, in next sessions we'll go into more energy. And I thought to myself, should I let them know? Should I discuss this? Should I be honest with you and let you know that I am really exhausted? Because you're probably going to notice that in the way I look and feel, and maybe you won't at all. But I feel the need to express my emotions and my feelings. And I think it's essentially important to say that I will never take you all for granted in my life. Every Friday we connect together and we spend this 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes, whatever it is. I grow as much as you and maybe more because I learn from you. I'm so grateful for you. I appreciate you, and it gives me purpose. It lets me know that my Friday wraps up the week and opens up the weekend for me, knowing that I'm giving back in whatever way, shape, or form that I'm capable of as a human and as a person. So this is my promise to you, that I'll never take you for granted, you know? So who else can you spread this to? Who else in your life, or what else in your life can you kind of reflect on and say, you know, I want you to know that even though I haven't had the time to say I love you, or I care for you, or I appreciate you, I do, you know? And I like to do that with God, with my Father. And I think it's really beautiful when you have the opportunity to just reflect and understand that you're not alone, that there are people out there who really appreciate you and appreciate what you do. And I think if you ask around, you'll notice that you're doing so much good that you're not aware of. So that's another sense of reflection. Thank you so much, guys, for telling me Salem Tak, and for my brother and father and mom. It has been a tough week. I have never experienced 4 people sick at the same time. And I just thought about everyone that's going through COVID and how sometimes all their families getting COVID. And I just thought, we really have to be grateful for the times when we're healthy and recognize that we are rich in so many things in our life, right? So this is a sense of reflection. Let's go to another question. I just wanted to share with you because I needed to express that emotion, and I appreciate you allowing me that space. Do you have a healthy perspective? So the next question on Menti is, do I have a healthy perspective? What does that mean? What do we mean by that? And before I get into that, I just want to take a look at a comment I'm getting from a dear friend who is now always following the show, and I really appreciate her presence. Maïna, notre week-end commençait avec un petit beau sourire grâce à vos vidéos. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. You guys give me the energy to do what I'm doing every day. And I swear to you, sometimes I think to myself, what do I need to talk about that's going to be of value to you? So can I ask you the following? Can I ask you to, by the end of the show, to sit down and share with me what you want me to talk about, okay, for the next time. So you guys can give me content, and I will use that content and focus on how to serve you. So it's not just about me thinking about what you need. So I just put the code again because Maggie, you asked me for it. So let me just put the code again. You go to menti.com. Please don't search on Google. Just go straight to www.menti.com. Put the code 5762 5682, and you can access Menti, and you can use it from your computer and from something else, anything you like. And this is going to assist you in sharing these thoughts and ideas and reflecting on the way. So what is a healthy perspective? A healthy perspective is the way you look at life, right? So the way we see the world around us. Today I was talking to some individuals in a training that I was giving. I'm going to show you the screen. And these individuals were, we were talking about the fact that things change or don't change. Have you been anyone who said that Lebanon will never change, for those who live in Lebanon? Because I know we have an international crowd watching right now. But for those of you who said that things won't change, and for those of you that said Lebanon won't change, I was one of them. Okay, at some point I said, "ما حيتغير, خلاص, nothing's going to change." And I was able to prove to the majority of the individuals who were watching this training that that's not necessarily true. Because if you look at Lebanon and you look at the world globally right now, has the world changed? And you'll tell me, yes, it's changed to the worse. Like, aha. But that's still change. So if a rubber band can be stretched in one direction, it's going to have the equal force stretch it in another direction. And life is like that. If we're stretching right now as a country into a worse direction, economically, socially, politically, whatever it is, there's an equal possibility for us to stretch in an opposite direction. So long as change can happen in a regressive manner, then it can definitely happen in a progressive manner. So the idea or the belief system that Lebanon doesn't change is false. It's a fallacy. It's a belief system that we put in our head that is meant to block us and throw the responsibility of the quality of our life on things outside of ourselves. So let's think about our perspective. How do we perceive our life? I hope you talk about how to overpass a bad event in our life. Well, let's discuss that. What is a bad event and how do you overcome it? You overcome it through a healthy perspective, right? And a healthy perspective is up to you. And there's so many other tools, of course. Let's take a look at some of the responses on Menti. So, do I have a healthy perspective on the way? Yes, I love myself to an extent that if a person or anything hurts me, I put that person out of my life without a second guess. Okay, that's definitely a strategy that you could use. Someone says, I try to. Someone else says, I might not have a healthy perspective at all. A bit hard to change an unhealthy one. So the fact that you recognize that you feel or have come to the conclusion that you don't have a healthy perspective is the first step in changing things. And how to change things is to say to yourself, before I decide how to get over a bad situation or change an healthy perspective, I first have to decide, what do I want? So I'd like to ask you to think about for a moment, and I know maybe it's a bit hard with me doing all the talking right now, but write these questions down and take your time reflecting on them for later. What is a healthy perspective to you? So if you close your eyes right now and you just relaxed, and then you said to yourself, if I look to the future 6 months from now and I perceive myself a healthy version of myself, healthy mentally, physically, emotionally, biologically, spiritually, what kind of perspective does this person have, this version of me? How do I feel being in this person's shoes? What feelings do I get? How do I stand? How do I breathe? How do I act? How do I make my choices? How do I sound? So engage yourself into and create an image of your future self that has a very healthy perspective. And then think about and compare where they are at, this version of you, and where you are at, and what can be changed. That is a very simple and could be quite an effective way to do it. So I hope that's going to help. Also, if you're going through a difficult time, reach out to people, right? There's a lot of people that are willing to support you and help you. I can't tell you how many people would love to just be there to listen to you and to engage with you in a powerful way. Be honest. It's okay to be vulnerable. And I showed you that today by telling you how I feel mentally, physically, and emotionally. Okay? I was clinically depressed. I had to take pills, but I refused and I prayed a lot. And Saint Charles did a miracle for me. Sure. I absolutely believe in this incredible and beautiful saint. And we're so lucky and blessed to have God in our life and to have all these wonderful saints and all these people and souls that inspire us. And this is amazing. And that's definitely one way to do that, right? And going out to your Heavenly Father is going to heal you at the deepest levels. And if you don't believe in God, that's okay. This show is about honest conversations, about facing the truth. We all have different perspectives. We have different ideas of what's right and what's wrong. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I never would dare to make that assumption, because that would take out the diversity of our lives and would put me in a position where I'm assuming that I'm better than you, and I'm not. I'm a nerd. I just read a lot, and I try to learn, and I try to test things out, and I share them with you, and that's really what I do. So let's move on to the next question. Hi, Rula. Nice to have you on the show. Today's a calm show. I'm kind of changing things up a little bit for you. Am I living true to myself? Am I living true to myself? What does that mean? When you think about being true to yourself, what does that mean? I'd like to invite you to reflect on that a little bit. You can type on Insta, you can type on Facebook, you can type in Menti. I'll see a lot of people are joining. I'd love for you to engage with us on menti.com, because we're actually taking answers, responses right now. If you go up the chat, you're going to find some interesting things, ways to connect. What is being true? Maybe these are difficult concepts because in Arabic, we probably say them differently. Let me see how I could rephrase this in Arabic, just for individuals who are bilingual here or more. عم كون صادق مع حالي. عم كون حقيقي مع حالي. عم عيش حياتي حسب معتقداتي وتفكيري وقناعاتي. So being true to yourself is saying, do I live up to the standards and the belief systems and the values that I've set for myself? So am I a hypocrite temporarily? Do I say something and do something differently? So what do I really believe? And am I true to that? We've got a question. Do you think your true self is a manifestation of Christ consciousness? I can't tell you what Christ consciousness in this case would be defined as. I can tell you that I believe, it's my personal belief, that everything that God creates is whole and complete and has a destined purpose, objective, or outcome. That is not to say that our destiny will force us in a direction. We always have the freedom of choice. But there is a preset preference that if we follow or discover through self-reflection, if we go inwards and hear the voice that's within our hearts, and when I say hearts, I don't mean the actual organ, I mean the true version of you, the truest and purest version of you, the deepest version of you that can't be harmed by people or judgments or reflections, but that is whole and complete and connected to your creator. I think there you're going to find what exists is the purest form of love. And in that context, I believe without a doubt that Christ is there. But that's my belief system. And I believe that primarily, basically, God is there. So whoever you are, whatever your belief system is, whatever your faith is, doesn't make a difference. The source, again, is based on love. And so finding that makes all the difference in your life. Let's take a look at some of the responses on Menti. And thanks for that question. I'm afraid to do that most of the times. You know, let me clap for you. Good job on being honest to yourself about that. And I think you have so much reflection to do there. If you wrote that you are afraid to be true to yourself, that says a lot about where you are in your journey of growth, right? And let's try to understand that for a little moment, because I think that's what holds most of us back. Fear comes as a circumstance of judgment, for me at least. in a general context. We are afraid to be who we are because we're afraid that what we do or how we really think or how we want to function is going to be judged. And people will accept us or reject us, or people won't appreciate us, or we will feel odd and different, or that we don't belong. Don't be afraid of that. And you don't have to live true to yourself completely in one hit. You can take it step by step, bit by bit, piece by piece. So why don't you start somewhere and invite yourself to discover how it feels to be true to you? So for example, maybe start with little things that you could test a little bit, be brave a bit, take that step and see how people react when you make that change. I got to be honest with you. When I started off Honest Conversations 13 episodes ago, I decided I don't want to be communicating with you guys in the role of John K. Ruse as the coach, the trainer, the kaza, always in a suit or a blazer. I wanted to be in a situation where I was absolutely real with you and genuine, myself as I am in every situation. I wanted to connect with you on the deepest level possible. I'm still learning how to do that. It's a learning process, but I had to be real with myself. There are so many parts of my character that I used to be afraid to show. And it conflicted with the image that I was portraying on social media about who I am. And that image is true, but it's not the complete truth. So it's almost like saying, I'm looking at the phone from the front, but I'm avoiding showing the back. And in this situation, if I'm avoiding showing the back, then people are only getting a two-dimensional understanding of my character. And there's the third dimension that is left undealt with. Okay? So if you remember in the first or second session, I was honest with you and I told you guys, I'm not perfect. I could be perverted, I could be an idiot, I could be I want to call it a womanizer, a major flirt in certain aspects. I can be playful, I can be naughty, I can be smart, I can be sly, I've lied, okay? I've twisted the truth to my benefit. I've done a lot of mistakes in my life, and I'll probably continue to do a lot of these mistakes, but I also have other sides to me. I'm reliable, I'm honest, I'm transparent, I'm brave, I'm very hardworking, I'm self-made. So what you do is you say to yourself, look, these pictures, these images that people in the social world and the exposed world, like TV and other areas, are presenting of a perfect version of themselves is detrimental for those who have less understanding of their self-worth, because they're going to look at them and say, wow, this person has amazing skin. No, they don't. They get pimples like you. Wow, this person seems to be always happy. No, they're not. Some days they have nasty days too. Wow, this man is so strong. He never seems to have or be afraid about anything. No, that's not true. He definitely gets afraid a lot. Just doesn't show it. Wow, this girl looks like she's always, dressed perfectly. Her nails and her fingers and her hair is done. No, some days she has really nasty, bad hair days. Wow, this person always smells fantastic. Some days he probably doesn't. The reality of life is that it takes effort to maintain a certain quality of living, and that makes you so valuable, because that means that you have standards. You understand? If you leave your body as it is, it's not going to be the best and most interesting experience. But by working consistently, you maintain it and you improve it. So that's why self-improvement matters. That's why growing your mind matters. That's why growing your heart matters. That's why growing your body matters. That's why growing your spirit matters, because you're increasing the quality of your life and you're also increasing the level of enjoyment for you and others, because you interact with them and you infect them positively with the beautiful things that you do. So I want you to know, I'm far from perfect. Okay, I've done millions of mistakes and I will continue to make mistakes during my life. The difference is, and what makes me vitally very effective in certain areas and that's why I've gained your trust, is because I actually ask questions. I ask myself, I self-reflect, I say, what happened with my day today? What's the effect of my choices today on me and others? What have I done that I did really well today? What top 5 things have I done that I did really well before I sleep? I just sit there and count them. I say, all right, you know what? John, you were tired. This is typically what I'm going to say to myself tonight. Okay. Thank you, Fun and Learn with Mom. I'm glad you like the music. And I'm going to get to your responses in a second. I'm going to say tonight to myself before I sleep, I'm going to say, John, you woke up in the morning and you did exercise, even though you really weren't in the mood and you were very tired. You checked on all your family and you made sure that everyone's feeling good. You got on a phone and you helped a friend out who was in need, which is amazing. You gave a good training and you got fantastic feedback from your clients saying that it hit the target exactly as they needed. So great work. You ate healthy food, and that's fantastic. You gave yourself the possibility of napping for half an hour because you're super sleep deprived this week. You still committed to the live, and you come up and you're talking now for 40 minutes almost, and you really don't have the energy for it, and you're still giving from your heart. So that means you're committed, you kept your promise to everyone else that's become comfortable with your live sessions, and you've been sincere and reliable for them, whatever the context is, okay? And now once I'm done, I'm going to go in and have a few more conversations with some people I really care about and give myself some rest time, right? So when I look at all of this list and I say, wow, that's pretty good. I had a good day. So if I die tonight, it was a day well spent. And as long as you can go through a day well spent, then you're going to look back at your week and you're going to find, wow, that's a week that was well spent. And then you're going to look at your month and say, whoa, this was a month that's well spent. And then you look at the half the year and you say, wow, and in a year, and you get the idea. I would really love to show you something, but I can't, because I can't actually pull it off the wall. I wrote down something about how I wanted and what was important for me in my life. And it's actually right there in the closet. So I'm going to read it out to you guys. I wrote down some of the things that I think I should be doing on a daily basis and that I could commit to. And so far, I've kept that commitment. And it's these little, tiny things that compile to make a really beautiful day. So I'm just going to read it out to you, okay? And you guys take from it whatever you like. I wrote this 4 years ago. It needs to be updated now, so it needs some self-reflection. But let's take a look. Pray for 5 minutes from the heart, okay? Do 30 minutes of exercise. I haven't really been able to keep that promise, to be honest. I need to reduce it to like 10 minutes of exercise a day. Because no matter what, you can always do 10 minutes. Read the Bible for 2 minutes. So if you're Muslim, read the Quran. If you're Jewish, whatever your religion is, whatever your belief is. And I say religion not as following an institution, but actually your faith. Do whatever you need to do. Eat at least a fruit a day. Drink 4 small bottles of water at minimum. 10 minutes of laughter. So I felt like I needed more laughter in my life. So I try to watch funny videos. TikTok seems to be helping out with that. There's a lot of funny videos and I share it out with my friends because I want to cheer them up. 3 minutes of reading a day. I do that in the bathroom. A lot of people, hey, why are you talking about this? No, I do. Best place to read is when you're in the bathroom because you are super focused. And so 3 minutes of reading is equal to 3 to 4 pages. So that's what I do. I knock out 4 pages a day in my bathroom breaks. It's pretty cool. Just make sure you keep that book in the bathroom and you wash your hands. Help one person a day. So on a human level, my goal is to help one person a day. And if I can recognize and identify that person, that means I've accomplished a pretty good day. I also wrote, give love to one person a day. Not make love, but that would be very good. I don't like making love. But giving love as in a hug, a beautiful comment, calling a relative, telling your mom, dad, brother, husband, wife, a daughter, son, anyone, coworker, whatever it is, just giving love, just an act of love a day. I wrote, be grateful, which I do in the morning and the evening. Reward yourself, which I do in the morning and evening, usually through chocolate and stuff like that. And music, 5 minutes a day. Dance, so I move, listen to music. Obviously, since I DJ now, that's always working. And then I just wrote 2 side themes, which is make and create fun and adventurous moments in your life. So even if you're stuck in lockdown, you still need to find something pretty solid to do. Is this interesting for you guys? Is this helpful? I don't know. I'm just sharing with you some thoughts, on through my self-reflection, by thinking about what I want and how I can achieve these things. I put these life or daily living goals. And I think I would add 3 or 4 more things to it. So I would add maybe taking a course. Learning now is so important. Learning is so affordable. So much access to learning, whether you're watching me and I'm adding value to your life, or whether you're taking a Udemy course or Coursera, or I don't know, there's so many different platforms today that you can access courses for $10 and $12 and $13 or whatever it is, super cheap. And there's so much to learn. If you just say, before I watch my next Netflix episode, because you're binging on something, okay, you can just say to yourself, I'm going to watch a 3-minute Udemy video to learn something, and then I'll go to my episode, and then I switch back to my Udemy video, learn something, and then I switch back to my episode. Or in between episodes, you do a little exercise or at least some stretching. Find a way to reward yourself and make it fun for yourself in order to continuously develop yourself. You need to be your best coach. You have to, because nobody's going to do it better than you. That's the honest truth. I'll add a couple more things I wrote. These are some statements that I read on a daily basis that make a big difference in my life. There are some of them in the other room and some over here, but I'm going to share the ones that are written here also on the closet. Thanks, guys. You're so beautiful. You really are. You're amazing. I wrote, put God at the center of your life. This is a bit emotional for me because I wrote this about 4 years ago, and now I'm looking, I haven't looked at this closet consciously for about 3 years. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm recognizing that I'm sorry, I'm getting a little teary. I'm actually doing this on a daily basis. And this is the reward that you get for committing to a higher quality of life. So, wow, I didn't expect that to be so emotional. I've drawn a circle and I put family, money, society, relationships, health, fun, even me, John, spirit, etc. And I put God at the center. And I wrote that it's me, connected to God, connected to my life, and my life connected to God, connected to me. So through the lens of my Father and Creator, who wants the best for me and knows better than I will ever what I'm supposed to do and how things are going to be working. And so that's the first thing that I wrote. The second thing I wrote is fall in love daily. I won't lie to you. That's been a challenge for me. It's not because I don't love people, but I would like to have someone solid in my life, and I still haven't fully yet made that happen. So I'm waiting patiently. 3. Where's 3? 3 is also fall in love with small things. 4, be fully yourself in every moment. Be fully yourself in every moment. I also wrote, love yourself and treat him well. So love yourself and treat yourself well. Because if you appreciate who you are, you're definitely going to appreciate others. You can't. If you love yourself, you're definitely going to love other human beings. 6, laugh generously. 7, judge no one. 8, be grateful. 9, be gentle. I've dealt with some anger problems in my life. I still do have them sometimes when I get really frustrated and tired. And if you face that, don't be so hard on yourself. It's a learning journey. I've had a lot of childhood wounds, and I've worked very hard to heal them. Some have healed with my own strength, others through therapy, and others through the grace of God. And you kind of learn and you develop yourself as you go. There's also a statement that I wrote on my wall in my bedroom that I read in the morning, and they just take a couple of seconds, and it says, I forgive everyone, and everyone forgives me, and God forgives all, and I live in grace, happiness, and joy in the presence of Jesus Christ. So for you, whatever your faith is, you can apply it to your faith, but forgiveness is the core of happiness in people's lives. Because if you can forgive others, you can definitely forgive yourself. And I think we're so hard on ourselves sometimes. We're so tough on who we are, expecting so much. But if you go 100 years back, our ancestors were happy with sheep and I'm so sorry, my video got paused on Instagram. Sorry guys for getting paused. I just got an international call, but I just blocked it. I think we're too tough on ourselves these days, where there's too much expectations. The standard of living, saying that we're living a happy life, requires so much to be happy. This is just really stupid. And I don't agree with it. So my final comment for you, because we've been together for an hour, is to let you know that self-reflection helps you to think about what's important for you in your life. I just want to read your comments because you guys took the effort to fill up Menti. And you said, I'm afraid to do that most of my life. That is the goal. It's a work in progress. Sometimes bad people force you to act differently. Yes, but the key word here is sometimes. So learn from it. Discover what that means. Change your circumstances. Deal with it differently. Grow from it. Make better choices. Invite better people into your life. Eliminate others. Set limits. Fight for your rights. Change the world. Change your world. Because it's your responsibility. It's not just some motivational talk. You're living this life and it's your responsibility to make the best out of it. And you know how to do it better than anybody else. So start with yourself. Learn from you. Grow with you. Ask you before you ask the world to tell you how you should be living or what you should do. Start with you first. Discover what you really want. And that's how you accelerate your growth. That's self-reflection. And from there, start discussing things with the world and negotiate how the world is going to interact with you and how you're going to interact with the world. And in fact, if you want to talk quantum physics, how you're actually literally creating the world around you. All right. I hope you've enjoyed the session. I hope this has been an interesting session for you. It's kind of a deep session. It's based on a lot of reflection. I'm trying something new, trying to see if you guys like that. So I'd love to have some feedback from you. Let me know if it was a good session, if it was effective, if it hit home. Send me hearts, love, anything you want, action, fire, emoticons, just anything you want. We're going to wrap up for today. Thanks, guys, for allowing me to be sincere, genuine, and myself, and to allow me to feel safe enough to let you know that as human beings, it is our scars that are so beautiful because they're our wealth. And they are the emblems, if you want. They're the military medals that you get. Those are your military medals that say you are a warrior and you've gone through life and you've overcome challenges and you've remained true to yourself and you didn't sell your soul to the darkness. So stay in the light. God bless you. Thank you so much. See you next week. Hopefully, I'm gonna have a very interesting guest. I want to tackle some interesting things for you next week, which is talking about economy and how to increase your business and your ability as an entrepreneur. We want to talk about making money and improving the quality of our life because money is a powerful tool. There's a lot of information there, a lot of solid sessions. So the next couple of sessions are probably going to be a bit economic. So bear with me because you really need to have a well-rounded development in your life. It's not enough to just work on our emotions, but we also need to have the tools to live strong. So be strong. Thank you for your responses. See you next week. Take care. God bless you. Bye. I love you all. Happy weekend. Take care.